Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, where you can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown and opinion of the new e-Tint MX-8 and AX-10 visor technology. Now, if you're seeing it for the first time, this is a brand new technology we're excited to have. These are the only guys doing something like this. This is really an auto darkening system that can be applied to any helmet, any shield that is LCD in its technology. So if you look, I can go from clear to dark with the push of a button. This is an AX-10 that I have installed on this shield right here. The MX-8 is actually the manual version, which has a button over here towards the side. The AX-10 allows it to go into auto mode that you can see through this little depression here, but also has a manual on and off that you can operate with your finger. You're looking at around $150 for the auto version, around $130 for the manual version, and really it derives from fighter pilot technology. So while we've seen the photochromic lenses from Bell and some other guys that use that transition shield technology, which is really UV operated, this guy is straight up LCD, it's battery powered. 3 hours to charge a unit, and you get about 15 to 20 hours of usage time. And let me make this very clear, usage time is with the dark on. So when you're in clear mode, you're using no battery, it's basically on standby indefinitely. When you push the button or it comes on in that auto mode, now you're using the technology which you have 15 to 20 hours of. So you're only using power when you are tinting it. If you'll notice here, we have it installed here on our Icon airframe helmet. This is the Icon stock shield, and it's really a universal fitment, but in the auto version, in the AX-10, there's also an Arai specific version of this film or this lens that goes on the back inside of your helmet, and really what that does is it has cutouts for the brow vents. So it's the only one that you need to know that's going to be specific. So let me take off the shield here and let's talk through it a little bit further. So in our usage of both the AX-8 or the MX-8 and the AX-10 technology, here's what we liked and what we didn't like about it. We thought the technology was great. This is really a smoke version. We thought it was easy to use. Charging was easy. It's via USB, and here you can see on this AX-10 version, I have my USB charger that would come with both, and here's where it connects. It connects underneath. You can come in really tightly. You can see those connectors. There's two holes. One's for the USB, and one's for this external button. So if you want, you can wire it up and put the button on the outside of the shield. So if you don't like having to flip it up or put your finger inside, you can actually wire it via sticky on the outside. Now when it comes to installation, you know, this is one of the things that we actually think it's a two-man job, and we think it's about a 6 or 7 out of 10, so you need to take your time. What we recommend, I'm going to pull it around to the inside so you can see, is you want to start with the middle, and you're going to work your way to the edges. You need to be delicate. It's a very thin film, and it is LCD, so if you crimp it or squeeze it too tightly, you could crack it. That's something that you need to be careful about. And then also, if you look at the placement, notice how we left ourselves a good 3/4 to a full inch from the bottom here, from where the mechanism is in the button. You want to make sure you have plenty of clearance if your helmet has a breath guard or it has a piece of molded plastic that comes up on the inside where the shield's going to meet the face or meet the chin bar of the helmet. We left ourselves a good amount of room. We actually played with it a little bit. In one of our first installs, we actually had it a little bit too low. Now I will mention that it is a sticky. It's going to bond to the helmet. On some helmet coatings, you're going to be able to reposition and slide it, and others like an AGV, after about 15 minutes, because of the fog-free coating on the shield itself, it's going to be about a permanent bond. We also don't recommend you using the e-Tint system with Shark or HJC systems, or HJC shields, because the anti-fog that they use actually reacts with the sticky that's on this guy. Now I'll say that the two things that we, the installation's one thing, it comes with the territory, it's an aftermarket piece, so you don't want to take your time, but really things that we found when we were riding in this auto unit, we found that if you're in the middle of the day in direct sunlight, the auto function, which actually when I turn it on here, you're going to see it, it's going to go dark, there's my off, and if I hold it down, it should flash 3 times. There you go. That puts it in auto mode. And you can see this little sensor here. What we found is that sensor is pretty sensitive to direct sunlight. So even if you're flying by, if you go behind trees, if you're riding the trees, it's going to be flicking on and off. So a lot of times if we were in riding that tend to be comfort or covered or around things that were obscuring the sun, we're really using it in the on or the off position. Also, we found that side light's really not going to do a good job of setting this off. So what we found was in dusk or lower light settings, we turned it off of auto and we were just using it on or off function by ourselves. If I really had to nitpick it, I'd love to see them go to a black rimmed option. So where instead of being gray, you'd see black, it would just look a little bit more finished. But again, you're seeing the inside of the sticky that we've actually, on the first try here, have done a really good job installing our helmet and repositioned without managing to crack it. So again, we're not the experts at the installs. We've only done a couple of these, but it wasn't terrible. It just we took our time and we made sure we had a second set of hands. And as you can see from the inside here, you can see it as I'm moving it. And here's the rubberized piece down here with the button for on and off. You can see how well that works. Remember, you're getting 15 to 20 hours of usage, and when you do run out of battery, it actually, unlike many other technologies like this that you use in different industries, when you run out of battery, it actually goes to clear. So you're using power to keep it dark and no power to keep it clear, and that's a safety feature, because the worst thing that could happen if it was reversed, if you were riding at night and you ran out of battery, and then it would turn, if it turned dark on you, that wouldn't be the optimal setup. So when you do run out of battery, it runs clear, and then remember, it's just a quick and easy LCD that's a 3-hour charge, and you're good to go. Also remember, the MX-8 does have that button on the side. It doesn't have that auto mode. You're going to have a manual push button on the outside that's wired, and you're going to depress it with your finger. So remember, you're looking at around that $150 mark for the auto version. You're looking at a little bit less, about $20 less for the manual version here on the e-Tint. You know, outside of the photochromic lenses that are really a chemical reaction, this is the only one that's battery powered that we've seen, and so far people have had a warm response to it. So make sure you check RevZilla.com for other third-party product reviews from customers who are using it. We want to hear your feedback if you're seeing it for the first time, if you're currently using it. Leave us a comment on the product page, leave your review, leave us a comment on YouTube, on Facebook, join the discussion. We absolutely want to hear your feedback. And if you have any questions about install or usage, shoot us a line. See us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. As always, ship for free, exchange for free, no restock fee if you need to send it back to us. But I will tell you that once you've installed it and taken it out and unwrapped it and tried to put it on, it is yours. You know, once we go down that road of sticking it on the helmet, there's no way for us to take that back because we wouldn't be able to sell it to somebody else. And as always, anything over $100 earns TeamZilla cash to be applied to your next order. You can certainly get that deal when you're buying the e-Tint from RevZilla.com. Find it at RevZilla.com. I'm Anthony. We'll see you next time on RevZilla TV. Once again, this is the e-Tint AX-10 and MX-8 available at RevZilla.com. See you next time.